So the Asylum exists since 15 years now, a little bit more. How all that was created and why?
Well, at the time, there were three of us who started the company, and all three of us were fired from our jobs.
Okay.
And we had to make a decision to find new jobs or start our own company. And we started our own company, and the first two offices were my apartment. So
Okay.
very small in the early days, yes.
And nowadays it's like a big company. It's how many films a year?
We're still in my apartment. No.
No.
We do about 25 a year now.
25.
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge.
Keeps us busy, yes, yeah.
So that's a big team now.
Yes, I think we have a little over 30 people at the company, and 30 people? Okay. And we have offices in Burbank, California. So it's Disney, Warner Brothers, and then the Asylum is right there.
Okay.
So, we do about 1 or 2 movies every month. Shooting mainly in Los Angeles, but all around the world. And we just started our first TV series, so
Okay.
we're very excited about that new direction, and we look forward to seeing where it goes.
Okay. And your reputation is to produce a lot of movies that are like some blockbusters.
Yes.
Some people call that mockbusters.
Yes.
Why, and what's your opinion about that?
Well, to step back a little bit, one of my strategies or ways in which I work, I approach filmmaking is sort of a lazy way and a little backwards. So, instead of coming up with a great new original idea, I just go to the people who sell movies and say, what is it that you really need? What is it that the audience loves to see? Because for a small independent producer, what you do is you remove the need for a big star, and you remove the need for a big marketing and advertising campaign so that people can learn your great new story. If it's something they're used to seeing and they like, then they're happy to see many, many more. And so that's the genre, the area of the business we approached.
But in your new production, there are some people that are famous. I'm thinking about Mercenaries. There is Zoe Bell, Vivica Fox.
Right, right. Yes. So, you know, we were at a meeting with one of our buyers in the U.S., and they said, you know, the Expendables is doing well, but you think you should do one for women? And we said, we agree. And together we sat down and we came up with a list. Some of the ones, some of the actresses we wanted were not available, but luckily most of the ones we really wanted to work with were, and so we were very, very pleased and honored that we got such a great cast of tough women.
And your film Sharknado has been selected in several film festivals in France, Gérardmer and Strasbourg, for example. That's a kind of new step in your project.
That's very true. We like to think that it's because we make the movies so quickly and put them out into the market, so there's no time for a festival, but maybe it's just they weren't good enough. But yes, in fact, we were quite honored to be a part of Gérardmer, and we were there for the festival, and it was an amazing screening that I think, you know, will be one of the highlights of you know, my career. So,
and you do a lot of different genres, but most monsters movie. It's like your specialty, or shark movie especially.
Yes, that's very true. I mean, we do some disaster movies as well, but they're not as interesting, and we don't talk about them as much. But we had very good luck with our first shark movie. We were developing a mockbuster based on a New Line movie called Meg, and Meg is short for Megalodon. I can't remember. There was a director at the time, but we started doing the research, and we thought it'd be very cool. About the same time, our Japanese distributor said, we're thinking about a creature movie you should make, but not just one creature, two creatures. And we think it should be a shark and an octopus. So our first one, Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus, did very well. So that certainly set the course for us doing more shark movies.
And that's a saga. That's a saga with all those films with Mega Shark.
Yes, that's very true.
So what's your new project you're working on now?
Well, I had mentioned the series, which is something we're doing with Sci-Fi in the U.S., and we're just taking it to the international market. So we'll know more and more where that will be available. And that's shooting in Spokane, Washington, in the northwest of America. But it's a road series, which means they'll be traveling from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Okay.
And they're guarding a person who has the antivirus, the zombie antivirus with them, and will they make it across the country? So action horror, and that's definitely a big focus for us right now. We're just finishing Sharknado 2, and Sci-Fi has announced that they want to make Sharknado 3. Okay. So we'll be hearing more about that. But for this market, we're definitely very excited about Mercenaries, which we talked briefly about, and our first real World War II movie, which we're shooting in Alabama in America. Okay. So we'll see how close to Belgium we can make it look. And we just finished shooting in Morocco, one of my new favorite Asylum movies called Hercules Reborn. A lot of good sword play and fighting. So I think that'll be a good addition to the library. Yeah.
Okay. And your films are released direct on video or on DVD. You don't want to make a release maybe in the cinema?
So, we're a very small and cautious company. I'm always thinking about, what ways we can enter the theatrical market. We've had some small brushes with that release. I will say that some of our movies do premiere on TV first, and then we'll go to DVD. So, like for the Sci-Fi Channel in the U.S., there's a women's network called Lifetime, and we make some thrillers for that company. And we just did our first movie for Animal Planet, and they're owned by Discovery Network, and they'll be releasing that movie, which is Blood Lake, another creature movie. So we do a lot of movies for TV. Now, as far as theatrical, we have done some very small theatrical releases in the U.S. on some films, just to make them more interesting for VOD. So there's more awareness of the film in the market. But our first very big release was Sharknado 1, which we released after the TV release on 200 theaters for one night at 12 o'clock, midnight, and it went very well. It wasn't so big that we kept it in the theaters, but it was a lot of fun, and it was so good that they're going to do Sharknado 2 3 weeks after it airs on TV in the U.S. I think about 600 theaters this time. Wow. So pretty big. Cool. We'll see how it goes, and so a little bit at a time for theatrical.
Next step.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much.